Hi, Matt Simon here. Today I'm going to delve into the Lydian scale. If you imagine the Lydian scale to be green, this video will help you pull out subtle nuances such as lime, emerald, jade, different colours within that scale. This is an advanced lesson, but I'm just going to quickly recap what the Lydian scale is. So a normal C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Quite boring and standard, so when you're soloing you might want to change it into the Lydian scale. And to do that you need to change the F to the F sharp. This might not sound like a big deal, but it actually makes a massive difference. So the F sharp, it gives the chords a floaty, a spacey feel, like it's reaching, like it's yearning for something. It really adds quite a difference to the sound of the music. This can be found in a few famous works of music, not limited to Back to the Future. There's The Simpsons. And a lot of Joe Satriani's songs, specifically Flying in a Blue Dream. These are the notes of the C Lydian scale, and the major ones to look for are the B natural, which is a major 7, the D, which is a 9, and most importantly is the F sharp, which is the sharp 11 or sharp 4. Now this is a concept I learned at music college from the mighty Sean Baxter, so full credit where it's due. So what we're going to do is look at each degree of the scale and build options from each degree of the scale. So if we look at the C major, that will be the starting point. So for a C Lydian over a C chord, you could just run up and down the notes of the C Lydian scale. Smooth legato playing. So that would be quite a basic one. Another option from the C note, you could construct a C major 7 chord. You could construct a C major 9, go a little bit higher, or all the way up to the sharp 11. Another option for playing this quickly and shredding around, because this will be not limited to shred stuff, but it will give you a lot more options. Okay, so we can start with this shape, which is a major scale, major 7 arpeggio. And I'm stealing this one from Jim Petrucci. He used it in the Under a Glass Moon solo with an E major 7 shape. So we have E, C, B, G, and you could also tap those if you wanted to. Another shape I really like is this one. And these little boxes are very nice to manoeuvre around. Okay, next we come to the D note. So what can we build from the D in the Lydian scale? First thing we could look at would be an arpeggio, which could be a D major, D dominant arpeggio. Now the word dominant means the strongest, and the dominant sound is the strongest sound in music. It's the most distinct. So if you have a dominant chord, here it is, D7. It sounds very much like a D7. If you were to play D7 notes over a different chord, it would still retain the D7-ness of the sound and usually override the sound you're trying to put it over the top of. But with a Lydian you can just about get away with this. So D7, arpeggio, You can also use a pentatonic constructed from the ninth, so D9 arpeggio, and you can bring the E down to here, so it's quite a nice little scale. Robin Ford likes to use this. Another one I like, which has a slightly Indian sound, will more mix the Lydian, so if we use the G, which is the fourth in this, Marty Friedman used something similar to that in one of his Hangar 18 solos. That's got a really cool sound. So here's a demonstration using some of those ideas. Now the next one we come to is E. So from here an obvious solution would be the E minor pentatonic sounds. This is well known. You could start off in the shape 1 position. Very easy to do, and all your standard licks. All of those will work. You can also take out the A note and you have an E minor arpeggio. And this will have a little bit more space. The E minor 7 arpeggio has the notes E, G, B and D. If we put this on top of the C, this gives us C major 9 arpeggio. Another arpeggio we could pull out would be an E sus2. This uses the notes E, F sharp and B. Because there's only 3 notes in there, there's a lot more space, and the clash between the E and the F sharp is a nice little touch. So here's an example using those concepts. Now the next note in the scale is the F sharp, and this is a really interesting one. I really like ideas built from this. We can extrapolate an F sharp minus 7 flat 5 arpeggio. That sounds more complicated than it is. It has the notes F, A, C, E and F sharp. So it's like a minor 7 but flattened. And the flat 5 in this is essential because that's the C, which is the root note of Lydian. Also, because that's flattened and it's slightly off-centre, what this does is arpeggios that would have flat notes and bars now become diagonal. So that creates some quite interesting fingering positions, and it's easier to sweep and pick. Another one which I like to do is, I would call this, again it sounds more complicated than it is, an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 pentatonic. So instead of an F sharp with a B in there, just change the C sharp to a C. And this is much easier to play. It's got some really interesting patterns, and you can steal some from the Symphony Destruction solo. Marty Friedman uses some licks around this pattern, so that's really cool. I really like this one, and here's some examples from F sharp. Next on the list is G. So from here we can take up a G major 7 arpeggio or G major 9. So G major 7 arpeggio has the notes G, B, D and F sharp. Over the C Lydian chord these become the 5th, the major 7, the major 9 and the sharp 11. And it's got that fruity, juicy F sharp. Another thing we can take from this is sus4 chords. We've got a G sus4, A sus4 and a B sus4. And they're 2 frets apart. So that gives some possibilities as well. So here's some G ideas. Now the next one is A. Now the A minor pentatonic is just the C major pentatonic, which is very boring, and it doesn't include the juicy F sharp note. So we're going to ignore that one. For this I'm going to look at the F sharp minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, turn it around and this becomes an A kumoi scale, which is a Japanese scale. Now this is really cool because it's got 5 notes and I'm going to play it in certain shapes which really facilitate the runs. Not that one. So from here we've got C, B, A, F sharp, E. And I'll put a link here to the Hirojoshi video. A similar kind of principle, you can make very fast and easy to execute runs. And just by using these 5 note groups. So here's some examples of A. Final option is B, and we get some really interesting ideas here. B minor pentatonic is one. We have B sus2 arpeggio, and also the Hirojoshi scale from B. This has some really good options. We have the B and the C, so we have semitone tension and also major 7 and root. Then we have sharp 4 to the 5th, and we have the major thirds. So these are all really good chord tones, and again with this scale, very easy to play as well. So here's some ideas from B. Thanks for watching. This was quite a long one, so congratulations for making it this far. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that business, and the tabs will be on Patreon. Thanks.